What is up, Division 2 agents? This is Gamer for Life back with another Division 2 build video. Before I break this build down, I'm gonna showcase the gameplay, but in this first part you're seeing, I don't get any kills, but I wanted you to see the survivability of this build. When all of my teammates die and the other team can just focus on me, they still couldn't take me down. And not dying in conflict is almost just as important as getting kills, because obviously it's a race to see who can take out all of the reinforcements each team has. This build has quickly become my absolute favorite for using in conflict. With all of that said, we can still get down and dirty and rack up some kills with this build as well. Let's do it.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be, living in a time where disease is on every screen, I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering, negativity is a plague for the mentally weak, no mercy, all I got is working, never stop searching, never quench the thirsty, I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic, you can't stop it, it's been chronic, since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic, go! To last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving, got my foot on gas, never stop competing, if you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em, make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em, if you take off the cast, you can see all the healing, if the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas, no, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it, I just wanna be iconic, sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it, you know that I'm always honest, stay away from those who are toxic, keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy, the enemy is everything, it's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease, but I won't let it get to me, I don't need your therapy, I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity, come on, we can fight this, freedom is priceless, spread just like a virus, living in a crisis, do you feel courageous, do you seek greatness, trust me you can take it, go on and take your aim, yeah. Built to last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving, got my foot on gas, never stop competing, if you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em, make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em, if you take off the cast, you can see all the healing, if the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas, no, never stop competing, yeah.
Alright, so the build breakdown, and we'll first go over one of the stars of the show, and that is the Catharsis Mask. This does come with max armor, incoming repairs, and armor regen, with a max crit damage mod. Expertise is at 12, and the talent is Vicious Cycle, taking damage build stack to a cap of 30. Each stack grants 1% weapon damage. Taking damage at max stacks triggers a purge, removing all stacks in status effects, and then dropping a healing cloud, which restores 5% of max armor for 10 seconds to all allies in the cloud. So on a build where we are stacking for armor regen, all of our pieces are for that. It's for survivability. This is one way that we're getting some decent damage for our gun. And once we get full stacks, it drops that healing cloud and takes off all status effects, which is giving us even more survivability. Then we do have one piece of Bellstone, 1% armor regen for the brand set bonus, rolled with max armor, crit chance, armor regen, and a max crit damage mod, 12% for the expertise roll. And the talent is Adrenaline Rush. Whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Cooldown is 5 seconds, and for PvP, you can see it does go down to 10%, but still, you're surrounded by 3 enemies, that's 30% bonus armor for 5 seconds. Then we do have 3 pieces of the Golden Gear brand set, plus 10% status effects, 1.5% armor regen, and 10% total armor for its brand set bonuses. And these gloves are rolled with max armor, armor regen, and crit chance. The chest, max armor, armor regen, crit damage with a max crit damage mod with the talent Unbreakable. When your armor is depleted, repair 95% of your armor. Cooldown is 60 seconds. And again, PvP, it's 50% of your armor. And then the holster, max armor, armor regen, and crit chance. Then we do have the Emperor's Guard, the Murakami named knee pads, plus 20% skill duration for the brand set bonus, rolled with max armor, armor regen, and of course this named item gives us that 1% armor regen as an attribute. So the skills, now this skill is on rotation. Sometimes it's this Defender Drone, sometimes it's the Jammer Pulse, and sometimes I will have the Bleed Seeker Mine here. All depends on who you're going against, but all 3 is pretty decent. But for survivability, the Defender Drone is definitely the way to go. And I believe the base on this for PvP is 10%, because again, and now it's just dawning on me, expertise doesn't matter in conflict. This is a conflict build. This is specifically what I made this build for, is conflict. And in conflict, your shade level is stripped and your expertise is stripped. So the one constant skill we have is the Stinger Hive. Now, obviously it does some damage, but the main reason we have this is to slow our enemies' movement speed down, putting them on bleed. You can see this one has 12 charges, the mods plus 4.4 damage, plus 4 stinger charges, and plus 10% health. And the mods for the Defender Drone that I didn't go over, plus 7.2% duration, 9.7 health, and 6% damage reduction. And now the guns that we use, you saw in the gameplay, I have a rotation with this as well, with only 2 guns, Lady Death and the Ouroboros. And the way that I determine which one I'm going to use is if the other team has a lot of really tanky guys on their team, I will tend to use the Lady Death because of all of the extra damage it gives us. So you can see this one is rolled with max SMG damage, critical hit chance, and damage a target out of cover, and the talent is Breathe Free. When moving, gain 4 stacks per second or 8 stacks if sprinting. Max stack is equal to the weapon's magazine size. Each round fired consumes a stack, amplifying damage by 60% for PvP. Kills grant plus 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. So again, I really like using this one if the other team has a lot of tanky guys on their team, kind of like my build. But I really do enjoy using the Ouroboros too, because since there is so many skills in conflict, you can dish those skills right back to them with this gun. You can see max SMG damage, crit chance, damage to target out of cover, but the talent is Rule Them All. When the agent has a status effect applied to them, 50% of the ammo in their next magazine will apply the same status effect to their targets. This effect will only occur during combat. So you saw the last kill that I got in the gameplay, he put me on shock, but then when I reloaded my gun, the Ouroboros put him on shock, allowing me to take him out. And that's any status effect. So if someone ensnares you, half of that ammo is going to ensnare anyone you hit with it, which is kind of crazy, ensnaring enemies with your gun. But that's the beauty of the Ouroboros. Now the secondary that I do have, and you saw me pull out a couple of times in the gameplay, is the Shield Splinter. Max assault rifle damage, health damage, and damage to target out of cover. With the talent Perfect Optimus, weapon damage is increased by 4% for every 10% ammo missing from the magazine. So you can use whatever AR that you want here. I am using the Shield Splinter just because it has a 60 mag. Like you saw in the gameplay, I would get an enemy down, and instead of reloading my SMG, it was just faster for me to swap to this AR and take the enemy out with it. And we can take a look at the stats. So you can see with our SMG, we are at 59% crit chance, 103 crit damage, which is pretty decent on a build that is all about survivability. Having that little bit of damage the Catharsis gives us, coupled with this crit that I've wanted to get over 100% crit damage. That's why we're able to do some halfway decent damage when we're taking these enemies out. Because the one thing about this build, especially in a 1v1, we're going to outlast the other enemy. We just have too much healing coming into us, all of the armor regen, and then once they take our stacks down with the catharsis, that healing cloud giving us even more. Coupling that with the armor regen, it's tough for the enemy to take us out. Like normally when we get taken out, it's because multiple people are shooting us. So yeah, some decent crit, and we can take a look at that armor. We are at a true 2.1 million armor. And of course the armor regen that we have coming in, 103,000. All right, let's go take a look at the specialization and see some other benefits we have. We are using Firewall, plus 20% duration, plus 30% health on kill. Your armor kit recovers 200% armor and 200% health over 10 seconds. You pop a med kit, coupled with all the armor regen we have, I mean, you're almost invincible for that 10 seconds. Then we do have the Striker Shield that we are not using, but you know, you can if you want. Allies deal plus 10% damage to enemies that are within 10 meters of you. This is beautiful, especially with the build that we have. We can be close to our enemies because we have all that survivability, which is giving our teammates extra damage against them. Plus 30% bonus armor during cover to cover moves, plus 50% pulse resistance, and on armor break apply burn to enemies within 5 meters. Okay, that doesn't matter for what we're doing in conflict. But just make sure that the guns that you are utilizing is equipped on your specialization so you're getting that extra 15% damage. So that is the build, my friends. I hope you guys give this one a try. It is a lot of fun to use in conflict. I always recommend, now that you get so much XP in conflict and in the conflict caches, I mean, I'm getting exotics out of these conflict caches as bonus items all the time. So even if you are not a great PvP player, this build will definitely help you out, because I will never profess to be a great or even a good PvP player, but this build just makes it so much easier, having that crazy survivability. So if conflict is something you've been wanting to try, now that we get so much XP in those exotic chances out of the conflict caches, farm for this build, throw it on. I promise you, you will do better than you think you will. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the video right there. I hope everyone is doing good and staying safe out there. And as always, my YouTube family, take it easy.